All right, and we're live. Welcome. Greetings and salutations. I'm Umthoth Neverborn, the abyss that slumbers, and you are listening to Eldritch Rants, the show that dares to ask the question, why isn't it called teeth paste? The answer to this question and many more will be answered by our panel of experts, as well as anybody who drops by randomly as the stream goes on. At any rate, please introduce yourselves in order from top to bottom.
Hello there, I'm Amsalo. How are you guys doing today?
Shadilay, motherfuckers. I'm Mr. Gurr, also known as AD. How are you all doing?
Top of the morning to you all. I am William.
And glad to have you all here. As you guys know, we got the live stream topics folder for you guys to go through if anything jumps out at you. Does anybody want to tackle anything, or shall we just get the obvious topics out of the way?
Obvious topics is always a good start. Maybe we could just branch out to more of the
Let me
less,
open up this topic real quick.
serious topics, you know.
Alrighty. Sorry, just had a message I wanted to review real quick. Well, I think the obvious one is let's start with Comey. He released the transcript before it. He then went and he made his statements and they asked him questions, blah, blah, blah. I kind of wanted him fired as soon as he screwed up and interfered with the election. I am pro-Trump, but no, what he did with the whole Hillary investigation thing wasn't cool.
This was the FBI director, yes?
Yeah, Comey, the FBI director. My issue with the guy is after listening to his testimony, I'm going, dude, you do understand that the FBI is part of the executive branch, right? And that the president of the United States is your boss. Now, your boss said, hey, am I under investigation? And 3 times you told him no. And then he said, hey, well, all right. Well, why don't you go and tell everybody that? And Comey thought, nah, I didn't want to. And 2 weeks later, Trump calls back and says, hey, you going to get around to telling everybody that I'm not under investigation? And he said, yeah. So let me get this straight. Your boss told you to do things on 2 separate occasions. There were no less than 2 other major intelligence officers who wrote a letter saying you need to go. You screwed up, in my opinion, the whole Hillary investigation thing when you could have waited until after the voting. So, the guy totally should have gotten fired because, if I told my boss, I don't feel like doing what you're telling me to do, I'd fire him. And this whole thing where, oh no, Trump asked him to get for loyalty. Well, you serve at the behest of Trump. So if he wants to fire you, he can. And hey, if CNN is so against loyalty, I'm as disloyal as it comes. Why aren't they hiring me? Thoughts, everybody?
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah,
Get your job.
Yeah, exactly. Even though technically you shouldn't have to be loyal to the president itself, but if he tells you to do something, well, you've got to do it. Like, he is your boss. And yeah, you just got to respect that position.
It's not like he is asking him to do some sort of morally egregious thing. Just tell him you're not under investigation. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's just a simple task.
Yeah, I went and I watched his whole kind of speech there and everything, and it was interesting because I don't know. It seems like with politicians, they speak in such a way where it can be interpreted in so many ways. It's never a definite answer, either a yes or no. And that's what it seems from him.
Oh, yeah. The double speak.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to give you a perfect example. I torture myself during the day and I listen to NPR, and they're having this round table discussion about the whole thing. And Donald Trump had just put out a tweet where he said, wow, James Comey's a leaker, which is true. He said, I took privileged information and I wrote it down and I gave it to a friend to go to the reporters. So I mean, personally, I wouldn't press charges against him just because there's no point. He's already lost his job. But yeah, that's leaking. And then they talk about it on NPR. They read off the tweet and then they look to their panel of experts and they say, so what do you think about that? And the response is, oh, I think it speaks for itself. And everybody laughs. And then they go on to non sequiturs that have nothing to do with
They
his
didn't
testimony.
say anything with that. That's not saying anything.
Yeah, well, I think it speaks for itself. And then they move on. And I swear to God, it sounded like canned laughter. It really sounded like somebody had pressed a button and I mean, I'm serious. I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, was that real laughter? Because that wasn't funny. Like that was
They
dodging
just pressed
the
that
question.
audience, please clap. You got Jeb Bush coming out there and he's like, everybody, please clap.
Oh yeah, it's a Jeb Bush moment. Everybody, please clap. Come on, let's get it going.
Good old
here.
Jeb Bush.
Oh my God. I mean, I just want to, I'm just sitting there and going, but okay, why don't you actually address the question? And then they bring out some, it just says, this could be, treason and could be and should be. You know what? Woulda, coulda, shoulda don't matter. I want definitive answers, 1. I would like some statements from you, 2. And 3, if it involves I feel, then it's not legal in court. And a lot of Comey's testimony was, I feel. I felt squeamish. Although I will admit, the part where he talked about the Obama administration, and I forget the name of the person who was working for Obama, came to him and said, let's stop calling the Hillary investigation and start calling it a probe, okay? You like working here, right? See, that was coercion. That was coercion. And somebody said, I'm going to fire your ass if you don't do what I tell you. But the thing is it doesn't matter. Because the president of the United States could go up to the FBI guy and say, I want you to investigate this guy now. And then he can go up to the FBI head guy and say, I want you to stop investigating this guy now. He can give those orders. That's his prerogative. He's the president. Now, we should know when he gives those orders, but there's nothing illegal about that. That's actually the president's job to be, the executive branch and enforce law and order and that kind of thing. I don't know. Am I crazy here or is it just me?
I don't know.
I think you're spot on.
Personally, I think there should possibly be some sort of independence from the president at times where there may be someone under investigation that the president doesn't want to be investigated.
I'm with you on that, but what they're quibbling over is he says, I hope that you would, back off on this.
Yeah.
Maybe perhaps before an investigation goes down, there's a vote on it with the people. Maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, saying this is my preference. Well, when my boss tells me this is my preference, I'm kind of like, okay, I know what you want, but you also have the prerogative to say, you know what? Okay, thank you for, is that an order, sir? That's what I would have asked. I would have said, is that an order? I would have clarified. That is my problem with, I have no respect for the guy now after listening to that because he's all about his feels. And I mean, before I just kind of thought he was just a kind of, grandstanding, but now it really sounds like he was trying to sabotage things.
It seems like he's taken the whole thing personal.
Well, I mean, admittedly, they kind of screwed up on the notification. He found out when he was on air, so. By the way, did you know you just got fired? What? Is this a joke? No, you just got fired. And then somebody came over and said, ooh, we kind of didn't get the letter to you in time. Sorry. We don't know how it leaked out. Welcome to the next
season of Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're fired. Oh, that would have been awesome. I mean, oh, God. So, I mean, the problem is that the left is not going to let this go. They're going to keep bringing up all this stuff, and they're going to go with the feels. And it's just like, okay, but legally, did he do anything? Did he do anything? Do you have anything from this? No? Okay, well then shut up, please. But they're not going to. We're going to be continuing to deal with this BS. And I actually think that Donald Trump may be appreciating it because I think it's really pushing a lot of his foreign policy off the news. And he's able to get a lot done without any. I really want to know what's going on with Qatar.
Maybe unintentionally, but I think you are onto something because fucking this Kafifi thing went trending, and it's been such a more distraction from his other policies that the guy just does one slip up and the media is on it immediately, and it's kind of like, well, everybody's forgotten about the last thing they were upset about him now, so they're just kind of used to it in Trump's America or what have you.
Yeah, a tweet is more newsworthy than any of his policies at the moment.
So at this point, I think it's just par for the course. This was a punt. There was no harm, no foul. They gave him some ammunition to run around and, get people wound up over, but they didn't have anything that they can touch him with. And I think the real problem is the mainstream media is like, why hasn't Donald Trump crumbled yet? He's under all this pressure. How can he take it? Because he doesn't freaking care. Because he has
I don't
no
think the
respect
man has
for
broken
you.
a sweat yet.
Oh no, he hasn't even broken a sweat. It's gonna be they're already calling his administration over, and it's like, wow, that's impressive.
That's whether you're for or against him, that's incredibly naive to say.
It's wishful thinking. It's wish fulfillment. And I don't want to write off these social justice warrior nut jobs, but they're still pretty dangerous. But on the other hand, they're kind of living in a delusional world, So, at any rate, anything else on this topic before we move on? Mr. Gurr.
One thing I would like to add, or did somebody have something?
Yeah, I just want to add that, Donald Trump was born in a world of very high privilege. He was also born under a lot of pressure as well from his father, and he's just grown up with that anyway. Just like anyone that's been groomed for presidency most of their lives as well.
Well, as a note, he did lose a lot. There was a point where he had nothing. He lost everything. He really screwed up at one point financially, and then he rebounded from it. So this guy went down to zero, less than zero, bankruptcy, and then came back from it. So he knows how to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think went bankrupt once or multiple times, depending on who you ask, and came back from that, was given $1 million and made an, giant industry with that. That's not, you can't do that on privilege alone. You have to know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to actual money.
That's bankrupt 7 times, but out of hundreds of businesses.
Oh, so, yeah. I wish I had his ratio of success to failure. It's he's had 160 businesses and failed 7.
The man is the president of the United States now, if that says anything for his success rate.
Oh, yeah. And that's the crazy thing. They still call him a loser. They still call him a loser and stupid, and he doesn't know what he's on. I was like, dude.
You can they pick at straws at these things he's failed, like he made a steak or whatever, and some dumb minor project that cost him nothing, essentially. And they're like, he's such a failure. It's like, No. You cannot look at this man and actually unironically say this man is a failure.
Well, in their eyes,
whether you like him or not, you're just naive. Thing. Yeah.
At any rate, Mr. Gurr. Oh, wait, did you have something to say, Abs?
Yeah. So I recently saw one of Trump's tweets, and he's tweeting about the London, the mayor, the mayor, and saying because the mayor was on TV and talking about there's no need to be alarmed, this and that, right? Talking about the police on the street.
Is this in regards to the refugee crisis?
No. This after all the other stuff that happened on the London Bridge. So the mayor, right, was we're on TV and said, okay, there's no reason to be afraid, right? We're just sending more police on the street. Now, Trump took this out of context and said, what? This guy is crazy. There's no reason to be afraid. You have to be kidding me. This mayor doesn't know anything. So, yeah, he took that out of context. So
well, I think he does that deliberately sometimes just to stir the pot.
You think so?
Well, I have this theory. I'm not sure, but I have a theory that the mainstream media thinks they're trying to drive Trump insane. And I think Trump is turned around and said, nope, I'm going to break you. You're going to get so exhausted, so frustrated, you're going to burn yourselves out before the first year's out. And that's why he keeps doing these things. And every time he does make a screw up, he just turns around, turns it into a joke. You know, I have a whole theory about the Kofifi thing. I don't think you guys may have heard it, but I think it's a portmanteau where he combined coverage and mafifis, which is my feelings, which I believe the word means covering my feelings on a topic, not actually covering the topic itself. And I think it truly is a sort. Oh, hello, potato! You finally came by.
Fourth dimensional chess it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like there was an old, there's a TV trope. It's called Xantos Speed Chess, where even if you're losing, you're winning. Where no matter what happens, you win. It's from this old cartoon.
Well, Donald Trump is definitely the motto for any publicity is good publicity. And I think he's also... I'm not sure it's your conspiracy theory, but I think it is what you said earlier. He just doesn't give a shit. He does not care what the media says about him. He's just going along. He's doing what he's doing, whether it's successful or not, whoever you ask. He just doesn't care and just moves on.
Anyway, I think that's a good place to stop on that one. I wanted to get to the elections in the UK, and Mr. Gurr, you're a resident expert on that. So any thoughts on it at all, man? Any thoughts at all? Because you live there and have to endure this.
To be quite honest, I'm a little... I don't know how I feel right now. Because I wasn't all that strong either way. I was just like slightly leaning to conservative. But I mean, Corbyn did have a few decent policies among a whole pile of shite. The £10 living wage, for instance, was a decent one. But however, when you break it all down, it would make a lot of businesses struggle, especially the smaller ones. And there's a few that I really disagree with that may want to introduce, like fox hunting. Even though there is a problem with the fox population in some parts, but I think it should be dealt with by, professional gamekeepers and things, rather than posh fuckers on horseback tearing foxes to shreds. But now everyone's getting pissy about the fact that out of all the parties that were involved, more left-leaning parties got more votes altogether, and they still can't get their head around the fact that Conservative did get the most seats, out of each individual party. So why are they complaining? Well, I know why they're complaining, because they fucking lost.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When I tried to keep up on this about, say, a month or two ago, listening to Sargon of Akkad, Corbyn was a nightmare. He was the worst person ever, and he was going to be the death of labor. I'm not seeing that. Like, his party gained a whole bunch of seats in this mess. And I would have to say that, in my opinion, they just wanted it more. And the conservative side seemed to kind of phone it in. I mean, I understand she made a coalition government. I'm not sure what that other party wants. I think it's
a lot of stuff that they cannot possibly change, basically.
Gotcha.
Like same-sex marriage, it's not going to happen. We've got same-sex marriage, deal with it. I think they also want to ban abortion.
So they're the really conservative party.
Yeah, they also had ties with the IRA.
I like these guys already. Well, no, I mean, I'll tell you this: the IRA, they had some balls. I mean, I do not approve of what they did, but you got to admit they stepped up when things needed to be done. And well, you know what? If the IRA just retargeted a little bit.
Yeah, my
I
family.
don't. No, I shouldn't be saying that, but
Half of my family's from Omar, so it's a bit of a touchy subject.
oh, I mean, I don't understand the whole true relationship over there and the politics thing, so I don't want to say too much. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. The only prediction I can make out of this is it looks like that it's more likely you're going to have a hard Brexit now. Whereas before it was likely that you were going to negotiate something that was a lot more equitable, but it looks like now things are going to get kind of so screwed up and bogged down in politics that it's just going to come up to the deadline. They're just going to go, all right, we got nothing. We're just cutting ties. There's nothing worked out at all. And
Yeah. But in my defense of the DUP, I think that's what they're called. A lot of the Labour supporters are now saying, "Oh, you were bitching about Corbyn having IRA ties, and now they're wanting this coalition with the group that are misogynist, terrorists, and don't like equal rights for women." Yet these are the very people that want more Muslim immigrants in the country. And they are terrorists, misogynists.
The irony.
Yeah.
it's upside down day in backwards land. I mean, I don't know.
Everything's backward in the land of Bongland.
Yeah.
Any comments from anybody on this topic? I just wanted to, I felt that was something important.
This is out of my field of region.
Well, I disagree that they're going to have a hard Brexit. I think it's going to be a soft Brexit.
You think they're more likely to negotiate something now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Theresa May has already said that she's going to try and push for a soft Brexit.
Well, I don't know which way it's going to go. It just seems
Isn't
like
Theresa May the one who's getting memed on Twitter
Yeah.
yeah,
for
she's-
like doing a spelling error or something or the other?
no.
What is it with politicians getting harassed for spelling errors?
Well, actually, the one that I wanted to bring up is who saw the failed high five?
Oh, yeah. God.
Oh,
Yes.
Corbyn's failed high five.
Yeah. Corbyn's
Yeah,
boot five.
That was a boob five.
Oh boy.
I don't know how to say it, but he just kind of like, I'm going to give you a high five and missed and just patted her on the chest.
Missed, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't intentional, but because you could tell he was like, afterwards, he was like, ah, crap. There was this look on his face for a second of, yeah, I really just screwed up.
Well, there
didn't
goes
I?
my career.
He just kept on smiling though, and so did she.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to body language because I deal with clients who can't talk. And if you look at, there's this moment where his eyes crinkle for a second if you look for it. There's a moment where he realizes just what he did. And then they both try to blow it off as if it never happened because that's all you can do. If you bring attention to it, you only make it worse.
Well,
That reminds me of
good thing we have the internet.
that reminds me of this video of when Ted Cruz was running, and he's like hugging this guy or handshaking him or some nonsense, and his wife tries to come in, and he just like elbows the shit out of his wife or whatever, and she just takes it like a champ. She smiles and she goes in there, and he's just kind of like, "Oh, sorry," and he kind of looks at her and he's like, passively, he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I hit you in the face. I got business to do, woman."
I think
I remember
great.
that.
I'm sure that happened with George W. Bush as well.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, and with 24-hour coverage, you're going to find everybody screwing up at some point.
Yeah.
So it isn't
Aw-
screwing up. The
awkward
point
hugs.
is, how do you
Awkward
deal with it?
hugs, missed high fives. Yeah, you just
Yeah. I
Just
kind of
like
miss
yourself.
the good old Republican debates because that was a shit show of comedic,
Oh, yeah, I agree.
opportunity.
I loved it. Who, what was it? There was some weird
Dick
question
swinging.
like who pledges to like support, who will not pledge to support the winner if they're not the winner? And then Donald Trump is the only one who raises his hand. saying,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down fighting. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna cut the legs out from under you, man. I'm like,
Yeah, one time he was all like, I won't do that, and then another time he's like, yeah, fuck the other guy. If it's not me, fuck him.
Well, although in his defense, Ted Cruz did say if if Donald Trump was behind him in a car and he accidentally run over, he probably wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz has so many negative titles at this point. Wife beater, serial killer, Trump hater.
Well, yeah. Everybody knows he is the Zodiac serial killer, right?
At least he's not the beta male fucking Jeb Bush, the family disgrace.
Okay, just as a reminder. Trump destroyed Jeb right off the bat because Trump.
You can't
bully
your way into the White House, Jeb.
Trump knew who his main rival was and said, I've been on reality TV shows. I need to take out the top dog. That guy, Jeb's top dog, I need to destroy him. He destroyed him. He just destroyed
Jeb didn't seem very
he didn't stand a
had no
chance,
idea there was
and
coming.
the Tea Party invested so much into him.
Oh, they tried so hard to get him elected, and then Trump just destroyed him. And Jeb just had this bewildered look the whole campaign. We're just like,
did you hear about like Jeb Bush? He would go to little kids during this man is so goddamn awkward. He would go up to little kids and give them like a little turtle and would say slow and steady wins the race.
I hope you're talking about the ice cream. You're talking about the ice cream sundae, a turtle ice cream sundae, not an actual. No.
Turtle. He had.
Oh my god!
There's an interview about this. You can look it up and everything. Where like this lady, she's interviewing this kid, and this kid's like, "Yeah, Jeb Bush. He seems like a really nice guy. I think I'm gonna vote for him. He gave me this little plastic turtle and told me slow and steady wins the race."
Who does that?
Oh my god!
Jeb Bush does that.
Oh, that is the worst. That is the worst optics.
And I guess
ever.
He also had like a plastic figurine for whatever reason of like baby Jesus.
Talk about desperate.
Oh really?
That is horrible. That is horrible. My God, who didn't? You know what? Everybody who runs for president needs to have a 5-year-old child. And that 5-year-old child, they need to go up to the 5-year-old child and explain the plan. And if the 5-year-old child looks at you and goes, "That's stupid," you don't do it. You just don't do it. Okay?
That should be a requirement for being president.
Yes, I have a 5-year-old child that has an advisor, and if anything, I can't run past him, and the child goes, "Are you fucking insane?" I don't do it. See?
And then Jeb Bush had like an interview with his mom where like they were asking his mom, what do you feel about Jeb Bush running for president? She goes, "Oh, I hope he doesn't." and she says this in front of Jeb Bush, and that was you can actually see the moment that Jeb Bush's heart breaks.
Even his family doesn't believe in him.
His dad didn't even talk to him or acknowledge him until like some Skype call in the middle of like the election near the end, and his dad is just kind of sitting there with the beer in his hand, didn't even give a shit enough to like get ready to acknowledge his son, and just kind of goes, "Hi, son," and then just fucks up.
That's so sad.
Fucking Jeb Bush, I swear that man was going to be on suicide watch.
If I die, please tell my son hello.
If I die, please tell my son.
If I die, bury me with my turtles.
I'm never going to forget this now.
My Jesus
At my funeral,
Turtle
please
Jesus.
clap.
Teenage Mutant Turtle Jesus.
When anyone brings up turtles, that video pops into my head where that kid just says, "I like turtles."
Yeah, on the news.
Interview.
God. Oh, I had some funny stuff to talk about, but this beats sad.
Definitely.
Oh well, let's keep the fun going. Well, go on.
Yeah, and there's this video of Jeb Bush as at some convention, and some lady is like, or some random people like, "I'm gonna vote for you, Jeb Bush," and like, I think a tear is actually coming down into his eye, and he runs over and like hugs these people. He's so goddamn desperate for votes.
Jeb Bush's campaign was sadder than Vermin Supreme.
My life means nothing without the approval of others. Love me.
Do you guys know about the Jeb Bush guacamole thing?
No.
No.
Okay. So, so Jeb Bush on his website had you could like get this recipe for like a guac bowl, like his like salsa thing, but the picture in the guac looked like somebody like took a dog shit in a guac bowl. And so it just became like this giant fucking joke everywhere. And people would refer to him sometimes as the Guac Man.
That's what you
Welcome
want
to
to
the
be.
internet.
Unfortunately, that is the end of all the information I have on the Yeb train.
Well, yeah, I think it's time to move on to some redneck madness.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
And this is our top non-political story here. Wait for it. Woman charged with pulling out son's teeth at store.
What?
Interesting.
Prosecutors say that, that Janine bought hand sanitizer and needle nose pliers. Thank God she bought the sanitizer. Then took them into the restroom with her 7-year-old son and proceeded to pull out 2 of his teeth. Fortunately,
And that's
somebody.
how rednecks lose their teeth.
Yeah, fortunately,
Rotten
someone's
teeth
older brother.
or-
Well, that's the thing. Actually, they took him to an emergency dentist who said there was nothing wrong with these teeth. And
Oh.
yeah, the boy's older brother heard the screaming and then got him out of the restroom.
Fucking hell.
The fuck was she on?
I'm
What
wondering if
happened
she
to the
just went
good
a
old
little.
days of
was off her
tying
meds.
rope, to a door and just pulling it? What? Gotta pull out the pliers and just get in there.
Well, she has a history of mental illness, so I'm assuming that she went off her meds and said, the
Clearly.
CIA, clearly Donald Trump is monitoring us through your teeth, so I need to rip them out.
Wow.
So just like from the Spy Kids movies, the teeth implant.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And it happened in a Walmart. It happened in a Walmart.
Speaking of Spike, just
This is why you should never go to Walmart.
Nothing.
and then
good
as she
happens at
pulls the
Walmart.
teeth out of this kid's mouth, she goes, "Do you think God too hides in heaven in fear of what He's created?"
What the fuck?
It's a quote from Spy Kids too.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I just had to bring it up as just kind of one of those weird, odd things. All the redneck madness happens at Walmart. Always does.
Yeah.
It would be a Walmart. I'm guessing she was a heavy-set woman or skinny crack addict.
Well, we only get a picture of her face, but it does look a little on the bloated whale side. Yes.
As
So
we're
you
still
should
the
get the
topic of
harpoons.
Walmart, have you guys ever heard of that guy who? I'm pretty sure he was definitely on something. So he had no clothes except for his socks, right? And then he proceeds to take off his socks, go into Walmart, and steal socks.
Oh god.
Wow.
My dad works security at a mall, and we found a guy, this couple, just steal a pair of socks from a Foot Locker. And out of all the things you could steal from Foot Locker, why it wasn't like he grabbed a pair of socks.
What?
This teenager did not grab a pair of socks. He took one individual sock and took off with it.
One
Desperation.
sock.
I did read a news report about a year ago where some people in Walmart stole from the reduced section of the meats.
They
Wow.
bought cheap meat. They
No,
stole.
they stole the cheap meats.
They stole cheap meat. Like if you're gonna steal, I wanted to make sure it wasn't too bad, so I stole the stuff you're probably gonna throw out anyways.
Yeah, the stuff that is reduced to clear, so it's already been.
You guys see that
Like half
video of
price.
like some old grandma in a Walmart and like some terrorist or some guy hopped up on drugs or something, just comes running into there and just puts this knife into the back of this grandma's head, and she doesn't even acknowledge it. She just keeps, and then the guy just fucks off, and she's just walking down like nothing happened, doesn't even acknowledge it.
Somebody's
and
trying
this
to put
knife
a
is just sticking in the back out of her head, and she continues shopping, and somebody has to like point out that there's a knife in the back of their head, and she's still like oblivious, like, huh? It was mind-boggling.
I'm at
heard about it. I've
Knives in the
seen
back of my head. It must be Thursday.
The knife is a part of her now.
She's just like, well, I guess this is my life now.
Okay, moving on to more child abuse here. We have the serial bounce house deflator. A Florida man is being charged with deflating multiple bounce houses with the kids still inside. This 70-year-old man apparently likes to unplug the fans, inflating birthday party bounce houses, causing them to deflate while the children are inside.
It sounds like some sort of sick fetish on DeviantArt.
Bounce houses isn't what we call them.
Instead of inflation,
It's like
deflation.
reverse inflation or something
Yes.
mixed with like a hint of vor.
Yes.
Eldritch God, did you say Florida man?
Florida man, porn.
It's always
St.
Florida.
Louis.
What the fuck
Always
is it
from
about
Florida.
Florida that brings out
What
like
is
these
wrong with
goddamn
Florida?
maniacs?
There must be something in the water, turning the frogs gay.
See, the globalists, they're putting chemicals in the water that turns the freaking frogs gay, and I'm sick of it.
I will destroy you!
Yeah, there's
I'm
just
human.
something.
This is what I look like. This is what I feel like. This is what I am. I got blood pumping in my chest. I'm animated.
You will never defeat me! Never!
I like to make baby. God bless Alex Jones.
I love him.
Oh,
my
he is
God.
amazing. I love him when he gets a good rant going on.
No, yeah.
Ah, well.
Unintentional comedians are generally the best comedians.
Do you guys think that Alex Jones's whole thing is genuine or that it's an act?
I think
I
it's
think it
genuine.
used to be an act, but it became real.
I think it's a bit of both.
Do you think that, like, in that whole, like, wife hearing that he was just saying that so he could get custody of his son again?
I don't
Not sure. Not sure.
You know he actually
Maybe.
had his son on his show before?
Wow. Yeah, no, give the wife that kid. I mean, don't get me
Having
wrong.
Alex Jones as your
I'm-
dad has got to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say amazing.
Look, I don't care if you're a liberal or, like, a Republican or what are you. If your dad takes you out to the range and shoot a gun, that's fucking fun. Which
Yes,
I'm sure
but what
Alex
if you're not
Jones
allowed
has
to go
done. I'm
swimming
just
anymore?
guessing.
Well,
Wait,
anything else on this topic?
What was the topic?
The deflating of the...
Deflating bounce houses.
They're putting
and
Jeb
trapping
Bushes
small
in the
children
election
inside.
to give the kids turtles.
You're turning the kids gay by giving them turtles!
That's really
They're putting turtles in our kids. Wait, what?
Are they straight
What?
turtles? They're straight turtles that Jesus would approve.
Yes.
what happens to the kids though in the bounce houses?
I'm sorry?
Like after it's deflated, like can they get out?
Out of the
Yes.
top, because isn't the top open on bounce houses?
Yeah.
Yeah, you also have that slide that you can just, like, slide out of.
Let's say...
I mean,
There are many
when a
different
bounce
designs
house
for
starts
bounce house.
deflating, you have a bit of time to know it's deflating and get
Yeah.
out.
You have like 30 minutes for it to completely just like deflate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
no
if
injuries are
people
going to come from that unless
So-
you
so-
actually fall asleep in the bounce house and then just don't wake up.
If people are on it, it will deflate a little faster.
I am a
the
grown
trying to
man
make
and
them
I still
cry?
love bounce houses.
Blues
I
say the
haven't been in one
70-year-old...
in like years.
We don't even call them bounce houses, so
Yeah, we call them bouncy castles here.
yeah.
No, we call
exactly.
them
I've never
either or.
heard bounce house before.
It's just
That's
'cause it
because
rhymes.
there's North America and then there's the Brits. There's the
It's not a
freedom
regional
lovers
thing. We call them
and the
both.
monarchs.
Yeah, so same up here in Canada. We call them either bouncy castles or bouncy houses. So yeah, we call
And
them
giant
both.
inflatable plastic buildings.
Sure, yeah, we can
Whatever
call it
suits
that
your
too.
fancy.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat, you know.
Or
I'm not
your
gonna bring a
castle.
boat into the water.
Yeah, what are you, stupid? You bring a bouncy castle into the water.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's already
Say-
turning the frogs
No,
gay.
I
What is
just
it
put on
gonna
my
do to me?
floaties and then
Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, trying to restart. Was hoping to get rid of that clicking sound I started picking.
House.
Yes.
Okay, that was
But
odd.
it says 6 children ages 2 to 10 were inside. None were hurt.
Then why is he being charged if nobody was hurt?
Because he's being a prick.
Yeah, being a prick is technically.
So is there
Being a buzzkill isn't illegal.
What is
Well,
the actual
unfortunately,
charge?
remember when a couple of weeks ago we started picking up that weird clicking sound again? I'm doing it
Yeah.
again somehow, and I can't get it to stop. So, if
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on?
Yeah, I'm gonna try that real quick here. So if I disconnect, we'll see what I can do. But keep talking.
You might actually need more RAM. But should fix the problem.
In the middle of recording. Are we still recording or?
I
Yeah.
assume
no,
so.
this
Yeah.
is live.
Yeah,
What?
this is
Okay.
live.
Yeah. This
Well,
is live.
that's what I meant, I guess.
Well, at this point, because the clicking I can't seem to get rid of it. If anybody has any last minute things they want to bring up here, we'll, discuss whatever you want, and then we'll kind of wrap it up here. We've been going on for almost an hour now, so this is a pretty good one.
Well, the water
we can
turned
keep
Pepe
talking
gay.
afterwards, but I'm gonna probably turn off the recording now because the sound quality is going to crap.
Fair enough.
Anybody have any topics they want to bring up? Anything they want to discuss?
No, I've not got anything else at the moment.
Oh, a guy got arrested in New York for manspreading. I don't know if you brought that up earlier.
No, that one got past me. How is it even illegal?
What
Is this
charge
still
is it?
happening? Like, I know it happened in Washington because of Washington, but this is spreading to New York, eh?
Yeah.
But what is the actual crime?
Yeah,
Having
for-
Sexual
testicles?
harassment?
yeah, exactly. For spreading your legs, like Jesus Christ.
I guess
The thing is-
taking
the
up
thing is,
unnecessary
Antisocial
women
space.
take more
behavior.
space up. They do. They have these big purses, right? I've seen women who take up way more space than men do. Even the men that have these big ass legs and spread them as far as they can, they never take up that much space.
You never take up two.
Okay, here's the thing about when you spread your legs, you're not taking up another seat when you do it.
Yeah, you just taking up a little bit more space on the floor.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And you might like obstruct a walkway a little bit, which men are most likely to move in that case. You know what I hate in regards to like these feminist videos going, oh, I have boobs and I don't have to deal with this problem or something. It's like, you don't have testicles. It's not because they stick to your leg. It's not because they're in the
Actually-
way, and yes, they are in the way. It's because if you mash them, it fucking hurts.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually-
boobs, they're like on your chest. Your arms aren't pushing into them when you put them against yourself. They're going
Yeah.
on your sides. While if you have balls, you put your legs together, you're squishing them.
And
Well,
not only
actually,
that, men's skeletal structure is not meant to sit the way women do.
Yeah, it's not very big difference between men and women's skeletal structure for the most part, but in that area, it's very different.
Yes.
Well, actually, the big main problem is that most chairs are actually designed for women's legs. Men, when they sit
What
down,
isn't
are
designed
usually
for
taller.
women?
Well, no, the height wise, and so men's knees tend to be a couple of an inch or two higher than the actual chair, which By physics, if you have your feet right in front of you, your knees are going to fall off to the side to reach equilibrium. Or you're going to put your feet underneath you, or you're going to put your feet out. But
that's another
because
thing.
of the length,
Yes.
Put your feet out and you're going to get even more trouble.
But, that's the way it is.
This is the dumbest law to ever have been passed.
I'm going to probably wrap it up
I
here.
wonder if they're going to...
But we'll keep talking,
Yeah,
but I think at this point I'm going to wrap up the stream. So real quick now, it's been real and it's been fun. Not sure if it's been real fun. Thanks for everybody stopping by. And if you want to join us anytime and you're looking to start your own content, let me know. And more than willing to help anybody out. All right. Sorry for the sound quality problem. I'm going to experiment sometime and see if I can't fix that. At any rate, thanks for your time and have a nice day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Adios.